Hi everybody, welcome back to Three Little Masters. Today we're going to make these really fluffy donuts with a chocolate or regular glaze. And these donuts are super tasty. Lolly and Robo really like them. So now let's see how to make them. We need to make the yeast mixture. So for that I have a half cup milk. I also have 1.5 teaspoons of sugar, and I also have 1 package of yeast. So this yeast is instant yeast. So this is approximately 2 1/4 teaspoons. Now let's add the sugar to the milk. So I've mixed the sugar and the milk. Now I'm going to add the entire package of yeast. So now we're going to let the yeast bloom. So while that's blooming, we're going to move on to the dry ingredients. To a separate bowl, I'm going to sift 3 cups of flour. To this, I am adding 1 tablespoon of sugar. I am also adding ½ teaspoon of salt. Now let's mix all of this together. After you are done mixing this all up, add in 2 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter. Use your hands or a fork to kind of mix in the butter to the flour mixture. So now the yeast has bloomed. This is what it looks like. So now we're going to add this yeast mixture into the flour mixture. Mix the yeast mixture into the flour mixture. Now add 2 eggs. We're transferring our dough to our Ninja blender, which can also knead dough. This is optional. You can also knead it by hand. So right now we are going to put it on the dough setting, and now it'll be kneading the dough for us. As you see, the dough is coming together really nicely, and we didn't have to do a lot of work, so that's great. This is how it looks when it's done. It's pretty stiff, but it's soft. So that's how you want the dough to be. When the dough springs back to the touch, you know it's ready. So now I'm going to take out the blade, and then we're going to put the dough inside. I have greased a big bowl. So I'm going to spread out all the oil now. So we'll be putting our dough into this, and then we'll be letting it rise. Tuck the dough and then place it inside of the bowl. We are letting the dough rise in the Instant Pot on yogurt mode, because yogurt mode is the perfect temperature in which dough needs to rise. So we're going to let it rise for an hour. So the dough has been risen. It looks very big, so now we're going to knead it. We split the dough in half so it'd be easier to roll out. With a floured rolling pin, roll out the dough. When you cut out the donuts, you don't want them to be too thick, but you don't want them to be too thin that they will tear apart. I'm going to be using a big circle and a small circle to make the donut. The bigger circle will be the donut all together, and then the smaller circle will be the hole. We also had some different shaped cookie cutters, so we made like butterflies and birds. Once you're done cutting out all the donuts, you're going to use a wet cloth and put it on top of them so they can rise a little more. Let them rise for about 30 minutes. For this glaze recipe, you're going to need 1/3 cup of butter, 1 cup of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Once all of these are in the bowl, you can mix them together until they form a creamy mixture. You also need 2 to 4 tablespoons of milk. How much milk you need depends on how you like your glaze. If you like thin glaze, add more milk. If you like thick glaze, add less milk. I prefer a thin glaze, so that's what I made. Pour oil into a pan. So the donuts have become, this one especially and these ones have become really puffed. These ones also have become puffed.
Mine, it didn't rise that much.
Put the donuts into the pan that has oil and let them fry. Flip them over once the other side is golden brown. Once the donuts are done, they should look like this. Take out the donuts and transfer them to a pan that has a tissue on top to soak up the excess oil.
Lolly?
This looks like my mommy's eating one.
Yeah?
Super good.